It's the Phantom Renegade!
Gentlemen, how about a game of tag? You're it.
Freeze! Stop him!
Gathered friends, welcome to Rated Exploited. Like and subscribe to empower the world of Matanui. Each gesture strengthens unity with the Bionicle. Now, let us delve into the lore of LEGO Technic. Okay, Technic fanatics, we're going in blind. I don't understand what I'm speaking about. Maybe you'll have a better idea. But for 20 years now, I'm just at a loss. I don't know how to comprehend this, and I can do nothing but disagree with anybody who favors this. People tell me the original Toy Story is the absolute best. Same for Power Rangers, believing nothing past Mighty Morphin is a good season. I'm not here to prove them wrong with opinion. Rather, I'm going to use facts. The third film closes out the arc that began in 1995 with the audience who are now moving on to college themselves. But ultimately, Pixar gave us what we didn't know we wanted by doing the impossible. I recall the articles when the film first launched in June of 2010. Everybody raved about it. The film did something we didn't expect. I had the lowest of expectations, but Pixar proved us all wrong. The film literally takes what makes the first two great, telling a gripping story with the characters we love and familiar with, challenging the role of a toy and the child who loves them. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, one of my absolute favorite series amongst the franchise. No, it is not the best one. I'm sorry for anyone that disagrees, but here are the facts. The first three series of Power Rangers, from 1993 through 97, heavily rely on the Monster of the Week formula, as to be expected by any anime. Yeah, Power Rangers is literally based off Super Sentai, which is a live-action anime. The series does have an occasional arc, introducing new weaponry, new allies, which is always a good thing. But I must say, even as a kid when this was new, I never liked any of the villains of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They're glorified bullies, and they don't pose that much of a threat. Heck, even Divatox tried to blow up people with detonators. It was not until 1998 when this formula was broken, as Power Rangers in Space featured the first empathetic villain. The entirety of that season is about a woman discovering her humanity for the first time. In absolute honesty, I can't find a single Power Ranger series with the magnitude of Time Force. It is the series that's so well-rounded, I can barely find a single flaw amongst its brilliant production. It also premiered the same year as BIONICLE, 2001. My best friend, who joined BIONICLE with me at its origin, still continues to feel it's the best year, in his personal opinion. I can't understand why. I got various years, but I'd never put the original as number one. It nailed the impression, as I stated in this video, link in the description. It's even more difficult to comprehend when I take in all the improvements that came in the following years. In all honesty, LEGO improved it from year to year. I suppose the best way to approach it is to think about the Impressionism of a child. The original year Bionicle is so prominent in my mind, because that's what got me into action figures. No, I mean literally action figures. Before Bionicle, I didn't even care about articulate creatures, characters, etc. But I hear the same argument from so many people regarding franchises, whether or not they've grown up with them. I also hate the delusion of people saying, you can't beat the original. Come on! Do you know how many sequels, regardless of medium, have passed up their original forms? It's like they never believed there's room for improvement. Are you going to tell me you've retained the way you were years ago and never built on your successes? Okay, I have justified my rant. A personal example I want to give is the first anime I ever fell in love with. That is Digimon Adventure. Yes, the original. I was disappointed when it ended. I was so sad, I wanted to cry, and I saw adverts for season 2. Didn't think it was going to be any good. Ended up being way more mature, beyond that of just aging up the characters, way darker, and even adult. And then, once again, in 2001, we are blindsided by another new entry. Digimon Tamers debuts, and even today, is the highest pedestal of the fanbase. Let's take a modern and recent example of something I adore and thought would never change. But when it did, well, here's my reaction. The Power Rangers logo, debuted in 1996 as a refresh for Power Rangers Zeo, kept the same typeface and design through 2019, with only minimal changes with each season for identification. I didn't think it would change. Dude, whoa. Okay. Instant gratification. Huge improvement. I hope we use this for many years before it changes. Yet, with all this meticulous detail, how can I apply this mindset to BIONICLE? Should I analyze what makes the original year great? Or should I look at Impressionism and the introduction of something, especially in regards to being a child? Perhaps then, I can understand why so many stick to the original in preference. In retrospect, I suppose the best thing I can do is start by asking him, see why he still feels this way 2 decades later. I sincerely hope it has nothing to do with being stubborn, but I love the guy, so I don't think it'll end up that way. With my mentality expressed, what do each of you subscribers think? Do any of you feel the same way, that 2001 is your favorite year of BIONICLE? If so, I'm genuinely curious why. Do you have a reasoning behind it, or is it an instinctual feeling you've always expressed? I'd like to feature as much input from as many fans as possible for next week's video, as I'll be exploring what Impressionism really is and how it affects your introduction to something and holding on to why it's your favorite. I just don't understand why, because I love when things improve, and I love pointing out how BIONICLE grew over the years. Despite LEGO metaphorically hemorrhaging money, they kept pumping quality after quality into the toy line. I will feature as many comments as possible in the video, with a shout out to each response. At this point, the more variety, the better. So, here's to hoping your contributions is what truly makes this video, because I feel quite blind going into it, but that's how I am each week, no denial there. I love not knowing what's going to happen next, like waiting for a new line of action figures. This is Raid Exploited, thanks for tuning in, and be ready next week for the delve into the philosophy of loving the first more than any that follow.